The Last of Us is not just a game. For many of us, it's an emotional experience that stays with you long after the credits roll. It's easily one of my favorite games of all time, and like many fans, I've been waiting years to hear anything about The Last of Us Part 3. Now, while the game still hasn't been officially announced, it's becoming increasingly clear that Part 3 is coming, just not anytime soon. Based on recent hints, interviews, and insider discussions, it looks like The Last of Us Part 3 will likely release after Naughty Dog's next project, Intergalactic, and could even end up being a PlayStation 6 title. So today, let's break down everything we know so far, the hints, the confirmations, what Naughty Dog has said, and whether Ellie's story will actually continue. The first major confirmation came in February 2024 during a special documentary released on YouTube by Naughty Dog. During the documentary, Neil Druckman, the co-president of the studio and the creative mind behind The Last of Us, made a very important statement. He revealed that there is one more chapter left in The Last of Us franchise. Now, Druckman was very careful with his words. He didn't fully reveal the game or officially announce it, but he did say something extremely interesting. He mentioned that he already has a concept for this final chapter, and that it excites him just as much as Part 2 did. That alone tells us a lot. This strongly suggests that The Last of Us Part 3 is already planned, at least creatively. Naughty Dog wouldn't talk about a final chapter unless the story was heading somewhere very specific. So if Part 3 is planned, why haven't we heard more? The answer is simple. Naughty Dog is currently busy with another major project, titled Intergalactic. This game is expected to be Naughty Dog's next big release, and the studio is known for focusing all of its resources on one major project at a time. That means The Last of Us Part 3 likely won't enter full production until Intergalactic is finished. Because of this, many fans believe that Part 3 could release late in the PlayStation 5 lifecycle, or more realistically, as a launch or early PlayStation 6 title. Some of you might remember that Naughty Dog was also working on an online multiplayer game set in the Last of Us universe. Originally, this project was rumored to be a large-scale multiplayer experience, possibly something similar to a battle royale or a live service game, inspired by titles like Call of Duty. Unfortunately, that project was officially cancelled. Naughty Dog later explained that supporting a live service multiplayer game would require massive long-term resources, and doing so would prevent the studio from making the single-player, story-driven games they're known for. While the cancellation disappointed many fans, it also confirms something important. Naughty Dog is fully committed to big, narrative-focused experiences, which is great news for The Last of Us Part 3. This is the biggest and most controversial question. At the end of The Last of Us Part, the second Ellie loses almost everything. Her obsession with revenge costs her relationships, her sense of purpose, and ultimately leaves her completely alone, which was her greatest fear from the very beginning. From a storytelling perspective, Ellie's arc feels complete. She's been the face of the franchise for over a decade, and some fans argue that her story has already been fully told. There's also the possibility that Naughty Dog may choose a new protagonist for Part 3, someone new with a fresh perspective, set in the same brutal world. However, others believe Ellie's story isn't truly finished yet. While Part 2 ended tragically, it also left room for redemption, healing, and closure, themes that Naughty Dog excels at exploring. Whether Ellie returns as the main character, a supporting character, or not at all, one thing is clear. Part 3 will be deeply emotional and story-driven, just like the previous games. So, while The Last of Us Part 3 hasn't been officially announced yet, all signs point to it being inevitable. Naughty Dog has confirmed there's one final chapter. Neil Druckman already has a story concept. The game will likely release after Intergalactic, and it may even arrive on PlayStation 6. Now, the real question is, do you want Ellie to return, or should Naughty Dog start fresh with a new character? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more updates on The Last of Us, Naughty Dog, and PlayStation news, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.